Hey folks, apologies in advance for my audio this episode, which is very inconsistent. My microphone just decided to glitch out again. But this issue has been fixed, so we won't have the same problems in future episodes. Okay, try to enjoy it, sorry.
3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, morning, evening, or night, ladies and gentlemen.
I really like that one.
We're Sardonicast. I'm Adam from Your Movie Sucks.
I'm Ralph from I Hate Everything.
Oh my god. And I'm, I guess, Alex from John Media this episode.
Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Hooray.
June.
Woo!
Speaking of things that are gay, E3 happened yesterday. How do you guys feel about E3?
Did you watch it?
Didn't watch it. I know Keanu Reeves was in it, or was a part of it.
Yeah, I was doing my Twitch stream.
Yeah, I watched.
Just playing games.
I watched the Xbox conference, but that was it.
How was it?
Not great, to be honest. Really, a lot of fluff in there. They kind of dropped the ball, I reckon. Yeah, because people were kind of hyped that, like, Sony not being there would give them a chance to fill the void and, like, show something off, but...
Yeah.
They didn't particularly, apart from, you know, like the Keanu Reeves thing. That was probably the best moment of the
whole show. What was that about? He's in the new...
He's in Cyberpunk 2077. Is that the year?
Yeah. I think he's the main character in the game or something.
Oh, what?
Who just came out on stage.
I don't know if he's the main character, but he's in it.
No, it's not the main character.
Oh, okay.
Was the impression I got.
Okay.
They also announced a new Xbox console, right?
What?
Well, they just teased it.
Yeah, they... pretended
they said it's coming out next year.
Okay. These console generations don't last very long.
Well, because they just can't keep up with the PC hardware.
Exactly. Which is why, like, the whole Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro, it was basically an excuse to just pretend not to release another console. Like, oh yeah, we're upgrading it. They're just keeping the same...
interstitial thing, yeah.
The same user interface and...
They seem kind of antiquated now, considering like we're in the Netflix age of just streaming everything and how you can just watch Netflix or Amazon Prime on any device you have. Obviously, it's going to go that way in the future, but we just don't have the like internet backbone to quite deal with the heavy lifting that streaming games.
It would be laggy.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
I think Google's trying to release some sort of stream a game from anywhere thing, but I wouldn't want to rely on an internet connection.
It seems too early, yeah.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I don't know, like fiber internet exists, but you'd imagine that there would be a bit of a delay regardless. Like, where are the servers?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you watch, I guess you watched the Halo Infinite trailer?
Yeah, it was basically the only reason I watched the conference is for Halo stuff. Yeah, again, I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah, it didn't really show anything. It was just one of those manipulative, like, hey, you remember the sound when his armor powers up? Like, oh man, Master Chief's back, yay!
It was really
kind of
did the same thing that the previous trailer did, where it was just setting a tone and kind of showing the redesign, and that was it. It's like, what? Yeah,
we didn't really learn anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's because they're so confident that they don't need to show it, or because we should be concerned about the development behind the scenes or not.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see, I guess.
I've been lied to before by 343 Industries.
Yeah, it's kind of like fool me thrice now. Wait, maybe more.
Shame on all of us. I feel like the Electronic Entertainment Expo is just one of many factors involved in how the games industry became the most anti-consumer and predatory entertainment industry there is.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like movies or music. You know, there's so many bad
because people literally cheer
practice.
on like all this awful stuff.
Yeah. And it's also like tribalistic too. It's like, I'll buy it because it's my console.
The whole, like, it's like a sport thing almost, of the teams and the sides and how aggressive it gets.
You don't release an unfinished movie and patch it.
Yeah, that's why I was so amazed at the...
Unless you're George Lucas,
Fallout,
I guess.
Yeah.
According to him.
Fallout 76, when that came out, and they like unveiled this new update they're doing, and everyone was like cheering and clapping, and it's like, what? You sold like a broken game a year ago. I guess we've just forgotten about that now.
No Man's Sky.
Set the precedent that way then. Yeah,
Halo
exactly.
Master Chief Collection.
Destiny.
Man,
yeah,
I was actually playing the multiplayer a few days ago on MCC. I was like, holy shit, I'm in online matchmaking and it's kind of working.
It actually works kind of all right now.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? It's only been like 5 years.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Doom and Borderlands.
Epic Store exclusive. Yay.
Yeah, that's quite irritating, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like the same. I'm upset at that for the same reason that I would be upset at, new streaming services just being like, oh, well, we're going to make this exclusive and we're going to try and compete, like Disney pulling all their stuff off Netflix. It's like, I don't want to have to pay, I just want everything in one spot. I want everything conveniently in a place that I like. I don't want to have to open several different applications to see my games library.
Of course, but they don't care about what you like. They want money.
Fortnite.
Ralph, did you see that George R.R. Martin game with From Software that's being made or something?
Oh, yeah. There's nothing out
revealed.
on it yet, though. There's no gameplay or anything.
Wait,
right?
I assume it's in like pre-production or something.
They're just writing it.
It was announced. It was something, I guess.
Yeah.
That's nice. Instead of writing the Song of Ice and Fire books, he's doing that. Perfect.
So none of us really watched E3.
No,
there you go.
I don't
Everybody.
really care about E3.
I watched
think it's like a cringe fest.
I just want to see the cringe compilations. Somebody else watch it, compile it for me.
I just want to watch Crowdcat's videos on them, and that's about it.
I'll watch it after. Just the highlight moments. That's all I want. You don't need to see the whole thing. Oh my god, my brother used to be a huge Apple fanatic, and so he watches their conference thing every year. I was in Montreal recently, and he was kind of pressed for time, so instead he just went on YouTube and searched up, the condensed version, and I think it was The Verge's YouTube channel just had, point by point, here's what's being released, and it was literally just clips from the conference, and it took I don't know, 8 minutes to watch, and he's like, why didn't I do this every year? It's like you learn, you know everything. It's just you don't have to sit through all this awkward, showy bullshit. Just give me the summary.
I love the awkwardness. It's my favorite part.
Yeah.
But did you ever see that Game Awards that had Joel McHale on it? That's my favorite live thing I've ever seen. It's such a clusterfuck.
Oh, yeah.
I have to recommend watching clips of it on YouTube. It's so embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
I love stuff like that.
I guess that's all we have to say about E3 is that it's not interesting.
Yep, it's just a train wreck.
It's just perpetuating hype culture. In the same line as, I guess, my comments on just the games industry being so anti-consumerist and predatory. It's happened so many times where a game will be announced, they'll have an E3 trailer, and then the game comes out and it's severely downgraded. They have this super polished demo or video or whatever showcasing this
Colonial
game.
Marines, yeah.
Yeah. There's a YouTube channel called Crowbcat, CROWBCAT, that has a bunch of comparison videos.
Yeah, I mentioned him earlier. He did one on Watch Dogs and
on just the downgrades
Rainbow Six
between
Siege, a lot of Ubisoft games.
It's so funny. It's a very valid thing to point out.
Well, it's false advertising.
Exactly. Yeah. Everybody get hyped. You don't even know what the game's like. It's either a demo that you can't trust or just a trailer that doesn't really show anything about the game. And it's just well, you like this universe, right? You like Master Chief? That line at the end of the trailer was so cheesy. No, we gotta fight. Something that we didn't talk about last time. The Cool Cat saga continues with PewDiePie. PewDiePie made a Cool Cat review, and Daddy Derek didn't get mad at this one.
No, because PewDiePie is so popular.
Yeah, why? What's happening? What's changed?
I think he understands. Yeah, it's the most, well, I guess now second most subscribed YouTuber, right? And he's just thinking in dollar signs, how can I capitalize off of this? So he wants PewDiePie to be in Cool Cat Stops the School Shooting, which is a movie that was supposed to have been made before with Mumkey Jones. And they raised $10,000 on Indiegogo with people, believing that Mumkey was supposed to be in it. And then Daddy Derek changed the campaign after the funds were collected and said, no, this is going to be a cooking stranger danger Cool Cat movie. And Mumkey is not going to be in it, I guess. Like,
so he just pocketed it.
yeah. So this will be the third attempt to have a YouTuber in one of his films, and it's not going to work. Especially, because it's public knowledge that the first two things happened. I was supposed to be in his gun safety movie, and then he did the same thing, changed the campaign after the funds were already collected, which is kind of fraud.
Kind of massively, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that, though. Did PewDiePie respond to this? I don't think he did.
I don't think he responded publicly to it, but
no.
I've been filling him in on all the lore. Is what I've been doing. So
the lore.
Yeah. There's a lot. There's so much.
Yeah.
There's a whole.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You could make a documentary out of this. It's so interesting.
Could, actually.
Daddy Derek.
It just needs to have like a crazy ending.
Well, the public pitch video Derek Savage made is easily one of the funniest things he's done.
Oh yeah. Every time he posts a video on his channel, I download it just in case he deletes it because I just want to keep watching
You have
them.
a whole folder of his videos on your computer.
Yeah. All of his videos are golden, and they're all very embarrassing. Man, when he was talking about PewDiePie's review, and he was like, "Man, I just loved it. I was laughing so hard." And the example he gave to a part that he was laughing at was when PewDiePie said, "I can't understand what this bully is saying." And Derek is just like, haha, yeah, we couldn't understand on set either. And I don't know if you guys saw the red suit interview with Butch the Bully, but like he literally said like, yeah, I had a speech impediment back then. And so the one part that Derek finds really funny is like, hey, this kid's got a speech impediment. And this is an actor he's worked with.
But he was a bully, so it's fine.
Yeah, I don't understand Derek. Alex, you said you would have a question about this or something?
Yeah, we had a question.
About this?
Subreddit about it. Yeah, they were just saying basically what you guys have already said. In my opinion, this just seemed like he made a desperate attempt at kissing his ass for some exposure because he reacted so positively to PewDiePie's comments.
Yeah.
But was completely on the other side when Alex and Adam made videos with many of the same points.
Well, he was on my side at first, and then...
Yeah, I ruined it.
And then I made my fair use video.
Yeah.
There's so much to understand.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to what he's going to do next. Just flip a coin.
Yeah, that's why I would never meet him in person. It's because he's unpredictable.
Too risky.
Yeah.
And he'll be armed probably too.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why other people need to continue attending the 420 awards without us, unfortunately.
Wait, that's continuing?
Well, I don't know.
Like an annual
there was
thing?
like 30 people for the first one?
Depends if you made money, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. He said he wants to make it like the 4th largest awards show in Hollywood by like 5 years in or something.
He's actually deluded.
But it's in Vegas, so how's he going to do that?
Yeah.
Through our help.
Man.
We'll make it happen.
Here's what you need to do, Daddy Derek. You need to host the show in Hollywood. You need to rent out a theater in Hollywood, because that's where all the celebrities are.
Yeah. Take out a big loan, rent out the biggest venue you can, and then people will flock to it.
If you want to impress people, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, learn. What are you playing at?
What a saga. So yeah, I guess like my concern would be if PewDiePie said yes, and then Derek would be like, PewDiePie's gonna be in this movie, everybody donate. And then he raises a significant amount of money and then changes it again, like he already did twice. It's really difficult because like I enjoy his content and I want to support his content. But at the same time, you can't trust any sort of fundraising pitch that he offers at this point. Because it's so thoroughly documented that he just lies and changes things. So you don't really know what you're donating towards, if anything. But I want to see more Cool Cat shit being made, but I can't give him money.
But you don't know if that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like Neil Breen, he always makes the movies he sets out to make.
What a saint.
And so, like, yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
He's a great filmmaker. But, like, Daddy Derek is not the same way. You can't trust him.
People's art are a window into their soul. Daddy Derek is a man who fucks a cat, and Neil Breen's a god.
We should get him on the cast.
Neil Breen?
Come on, Daddy Derek.
Oh.
Yeah, Daddy. Well,
No.
yeah, both of them.
Ooh. I couldn't imagine
Have you
that
ever
would
spoken
work.
to him?
Have I ever spoken to him?
Have you ever actually spoken to him?
I've talked to him on
Like voice.
No, I've never talked to him with my voice. Well, other than
That's a shame.
arguing in YouTube videos back and forth like
Right,
you
yeah.
have.
I feel like there could be humor if you could somehow wrangle him into an interview.
It's not possible. It's not possible. I don't
He's
think
too
it would ever
difficult,
work.
isn't
Yeah. You can't trust him.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
No.
So I guess but you can't have him responsible for recording audio on his end, first of all.
That's true, yeah.
When he can't even figure out how to do a live stream for his event that he was planning for several months.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Like you
That's a
can't
good point.
you can't trust him with anything. But I still love your movies, Derek, and I will continue.
Yeah.
I will continue to wear your merchandise.
Continue to support this con artist.
We, if we wanted to talk about one other thing before we did the THX 1138 discussion, I do have in my notes one of the things that we haven't really fully discussed on the podcast, and I guess it doesn't need to be like a huge discussion, is the new Suspiria. That was on our list of things that we could eventually talk about.
Oh yeah. It's been a while since I've seen it, but
We've all seen it.
Yeah.
Right?
Should we even try to start that one?
yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I guess we can.
I really love the movie. I really love
I
the
do
movie.
too.
Yeah, same.
I watched
I
it.
think it's one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
I watched it a second time, and I this was something that I kind of felt the first time watching it too, but I guess it just solidified my opinions a bit more the second time. It is a little long. As much as I love it, I think it could have been cut down a little. I think the pacing could have been improved.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Is it a certain portion of the movie, like the first act or something?
Yeah,
That's what it
I
was
guess
for
the
me.
first half of the movie. It's a slow burn, but sometimes it feels like what you're watching isn't really contributing to the actual burn. It's got a nice tone and atmosphere. I like the universe. Very awesome set design. Everything feels really
The
authentic.
dance choreography is pretty
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, I thought it was terrifying. I thought it was really frightening. The imagery and the editing. The editing's like fantastic in the movie. I think that's what makes it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does have some of that. Like, literally, so many fucking things that it could have gotten nominated
Yeah,
for. But
it should have won for editing, honestly.
Yeah.
You know? The Year of Green Book. Yeah, it definitely should have been at least nominated for editing, perhaps Tilda Swinton's performance.
As three people, yeah.
The soundtrack, Tom York. I had no idea that he composed like all of it. I thought it was just the songs where you heard his voice. But I looked on Spotify and literally all of them is
One
just
of the
Tom
best
York.
scores of the year.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching it in theaters, and without spoiling it, whenever when it gets to the first kind of like death that you see, like very grotesque death,
Mm-hmm.
at that moment I was thinking like, holy shit. Like, it's been so long since I've seen a horror movie and been kind of scared by what I was seeing and being like uncomfortable and like, holy shit, that's actually terrifying imagery. It doesn't happen often at all.
That scene was fantastic, yeah.
And it went on for so long.
And they
the
go really
sound
far
design
with
of
it,
like
too.
the crackling bones. And
Yeah.
It definitely does not hold back. I've got it literally like I can visualize the whole thing right now. Like that's the
It's very memorable, yeah.
that's what makes a good horror movie is like you see it and then basically can't unsee it. Like you have something in your mind very specifically. It's not just some vague like, oh, this happened and this happened. It's like specific shots.
Mm-hmm.
Specific shots that actually leave a lasting impact on you. Should we issue a spoiler warning? Because there's a I guess let's do a
Yeah,
spoiler
I'm
warning.
kind of dancing around what...
Yeah.
You were talking
Yeah.
about how like this movie goes all the way with it.
Yeah.
In every scene. The end ritual scene is fucking hardcore.
I was about to ask what you think
the
about that.
entire
Yeah.
thing. It's insane.
Mhm.
It is crazy,
Fucking
yeah.
dancing naked people covered in blood,
I guess
crazy music and costumes. It's insane.
I appreciate that it's different and it's not a carbon copy of the original.
Yeah. It's
And
its
almost-
own movie.
Almost like the polar opposite in ways, especially with like color, you know.
Color. The music's way more melancholy in this than like
Yeah.
the old Suspiria music by Goblin, which was fucking loud and lots of drums and that stuff.
Yeah, I think the characters are better written and acted in this one.
Yeah.
Like there's people
This
to
film
attach
has a little
onto.
more subtext to it. There's like feminist themes and the corruption of the witch coven, and the old character has a history with the Holocaust. There's deeper stuff going on, more so than
Yeah.
the old one.
Exactly.
Would you say
Even though the old
one...
one's a masterpiece,
Yeah, I was
too.
going to say, is it still worth watching, though? I haven't seen the original.
Yes, but it's definitely a trashier
I'm not
movie.
big
It's
on
a
it.
1970s giallo.
It's a very colorful horror movie, but the characters are idiots. and a lot of the sequences are really... Yeah, they're fucking idiots. And
It's
a lot of
going for a very
sequences are
different
really
tone
cheesy.
than this.
Yeah, I honestly, like, I appreciate it for what it is, but I'm not big into the original Suspiria. I love the remake,
I love
though.
both of them for their own reasons, but they're very different films.
Yeah. I'm glad you're able to enjoy both of them. I don't think I would watch the original again. I was kind of bored by it. I think it's crazy that I really wish I didn't know that Tilda Swinton was playing two characters before I saw it. It was just some random article that told me, and then I knew as soon as I was watching it.
I didn't know that.
But I know one of my friends had no idea as it was happening.
You teased it, didn't you, on one of the episodes like months ago?
Yeah, and I made sure not to say anything about it so that you guys could experience it.
Yeah, I had
way.
no idea when I was watching the movie.
Oh, and so did the movie finish before you figured it out?
No, it was bugging me so much that I just went on my phone and looked on IMDb to see who the actor was, because I was like, I've never seen this person before, and there's something about their voice that's like, you can tell.
His voice was high pitched,
just off-putting. Yeah, it's just something
weird.
odd about it, and it was just.
What was his name? Lutz Udendorf was the actor's name they came up with for him.
Yeah.
In this director's previous film, I Am Love, in order to play the role, she learned both Russian and Italian so that she could speak Italian with a Russian accent.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
It's commitment.
She's worked with him a few times now. They're definitely friends. You'd never really expect a terrifying, brutal horror movie from the guy that made Call Me By Your Name, but here we are. There's definitely a voice and a vision, and it's so rare to see that, especially when you're dealing with a reboot or a remake, because those are almost exclusively done just to capitalize off of name recognition. Disney, cough.
For me, The Thing and this are the best horror remakes I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, the
totally
80s
original,
The Thing.
do their own thing, have their own style. I can't think of two better examples.
Yeah. And I guess Blade Runner's not really a remake, but I guess in the same vein of just oh hey, previously existing property, but somebody who actually cares is in charge.
I hope there are more films like it, even though there probably won't be, because the critical reception was mixed and it didn't make a lot of money.
Yeah, and it's only got a 6.8 on IMDb.
Yeah.
I guess
Very
audiences
mixed.
didn't respond.
There's literally no way to market it towards the average film goer. I'd like to see A24 try to make a trailer for it. What they'd fucking do, They did
reaction videos to that first kill scene in the movie. Oh, look how disturbing this is.
And it doesn't really summarize the movie. It's not like Saw or something like that, where it's just exploitation.
That's not the movie. It's part of the movie.
Yeah.
It's a scene in the movie. But you can't sell people on the idea that that's what they're gonna get. The average audience member that, in order to market your horror movie towards, if you want to make money, is probably not somebody who's looking for a thoughtful, slow experience for a horror movie. You can't.
Yeah.
Who's it for, in a way? Just a few people, I guess.
Apparently, most of the total gross of Hollywood comes from 5% of movies, which is usually Jurassic World.
Now it's just
Marvel.
Disney
Avengers
owns most of those.
So you need the movies like that to keep the industry going, otherwise the whole thing falls apart.
Oops.
But there's also room for movies like Suspiria that are fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And do things that no one's ever done before. So.
Yeah, as long as Disney doesn't push all these things out of theaters. But I guess that's what
I don't think they
online
will.
streaming is for now, too. There'll always be a way to watch it.
And there's always a market for indie films and indie theaters.
Yeah, where I live in the country, getting to find the film in the theater was basically impossible for me, unless I wanted to go way into a city. So it's already that way for a lot of people, I think, with more out there indie movies. You just got to wait.
A lot of people just have to wait till it's
exactly,
out. A lot of these foreign films I don't even see till 2 years after they come out.
Yeah. You just have no way of being able to watch them.
Yeah. I like living in Vancouver. It has a really good selection for foreign and independent films.
Yeah.
There's quite a few
New York
different
had that.
theaters.
LA has it too.
Yeah. Montreal
Obviously,
like
LA
that.
has it.
Yeah. And then also film festivals help out a lot.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
It's pretty much where I see most of my favorite movies of the year. In theaters, at least.
Yeah.
The ones I see in theaters. Did we have anything more to say about Suspiria?
No, I think it's great. You should all give it a shot. 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a long time, so I can't really remember a lot of it. I'm going to
Yeah.
have to rewatch it. But yeah, striking movie.
Yeah.
I'd recommend
I'd
it.
probably give it an 8 out of 10.
Too low.
Yeah, I think I gave it the same.
11 out of 10 would be a better score.
Speaking of film festivals, I forgot to talk about Cannes on the podcast. I was at Cannes Film Festival. It was my second year.
How
it
was
was
it?
crazy.
Crazy good?
Out of all of the film festivals there is, this one's the least about fun. You know, it's not about having a good time. Like there's no popcorn or drinks at the theaters. You know, there's some screenings where like even before the movie, it's like 15 minutes before the movie, they won't let you out to use the washroom because it's like, oh no, we're trying to fill the seats. Like, man, and it's so stressful too because like all of the badges you have, they're on a lanyard with like this tiny little releasable clip, and I just look at that thinking like that's probably there so that a staff member can take it away really easily if you do something stupid.
Right.
You know, like there's this constant worry of like, oh my god, am I gonna do something dumb and get my badge taken away?
Oh right.
If you see like a celebrity in the main building, the Palais du Festival, you're not allowed to like stop and take a photo with them, which makes sense and it's a good rule because it would just block traffic and like they have places to be. They're part of the jury. I saw Benicio del Toro last year and I gave him a nod. And he nodded back, and that was
Did he nod back? Oh, nice.
That was the extent of our communication, but it was very satisfying. Yeah,
what were the stand-ups then?
Oh yeah, easily my favorite movie of the festival this year was The Lighthouse, the new Robert Edgers movie, the director of The Witch. Yeah,
I can't wait for this.
Yeah, that was his first film, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed The Witch for sure. I wasn't like so blown away by it, but there was an idea of like, okay, he's obviously got some talent. There's obviously a lot of potential here. This is his first film, and you can definitely tell this guy's talented. The Lighthouse is actually a masterpiece. It's like, it's insane.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It was one of the most like satisfying movies I've seen in a while. It's a 10 out of 10.
It's horror, is it?
From me.
Would you say it's sort of like frightening, or what kind of horror are we talking?
It's psychological horror. There are, much like I was saying with Suspiria, there are visual... There's definitely imagery that I have in my mind, you know? Where I'm just like, there's specific shots, even after only seeing it once, where I'm like, that was an awesome shot, that was an awesome shot. There was about like 7 different moments in the screening when I was just like, I found myself just like nodding like, yeah, that was great. That was like that was exactly what should have happened there. Like that was very satisfying. And what's crazy about it is like it is a psychological horror, but it's also got comedic elements to it. Like not even like subtly, like straight up there's comedy in this movie. And it's mixed so well. It's so balanced, and it doesn't detract from any of the serious scenes, any of the dramatic scenes, or the scary scenes. Like, it doesn't detract from it whatsoever. But it's really funny. It's got Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, and
great cast, yeah.
The entire thing is black and white. Seems like it was probably shot on film. It's got like a 1.19 to 1 aspect ratio, so almost a square. And the whole thing is just pretty much just a contained single location awesome movie. And it just somehow works so well.
Sounds great. Yeah,
Willem Dafoe is like a parody level seaman. Like he talks he goes like full Captain Ahab and he does it so well. It's probably my favorite performance from him.
Really?
Yeah.
He's got the look too. He looks perfect.
If he doesn't get nominated for an Oscar for this, which he probably won't because it's a horror movie or whatever, it's just like, come on. It's his best performance. He does it so well. Perfect casting.
He's been making a comeback recently. He's in a lot
Willem
of great
Dafoe,
stuff.
yeah.
The Florida Project, he was amazing too.
Yeah, he got nominated for that. He got nominated for the Van Gogh movie last year.
Yep.
He's ranking in the nominations. He's doing a great job. Very incredibly satisfying movie.
Yeah, can't wait.
Second favorite from the festival, Parasite, new Bong Joon-ho. It won the Palme d'Or.
Yeah, I want to see that one too.
Yeah, that was awesome. I'm glad he's making Korean movies again. His English ones are good, but just not as good as his Korean ones.
How about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I wanted to see it. It wasn't playing while I was there. So even though while I was there, so I wasn't there for the whole festival because I was a part of the 3 days in Cannes program. But even though I selected the 3 days where, on the Saturday they do reruns from all of the competition films. So theoretically it should have been playing on the Saturday. But I think the reason why they didn't play that one again is because Quentin Tarantino and his 35 millimeter or whatever, like the film projection. So... Yeah, I think there was only one theater capable to play it, and it was like the main one that was doing other things that day. Okay. So that's probably why they didn't play it again. But that one's coming out soon anyway.
I was curious about it.
I'm not like super disappointed I didn't see it. Yeah, the ones that I could have seen that I wanted to, I did.
I got a standing ovation apparently. So.
Oh yeah, did you see that video of the standing ovation where the cameraman's like way too close to the actors, and it's just super uncomfortable, and it's just people clapping for like 2 minutes looking super awkward? It's so good. Oh man, you gotta watch that video. I'll send it to you later. The only other one I really wanted to see but wasn't really able to because it wasn't playing while I was there, it only had like one screening. There's a new Gaspar Noé movie.
Oh yeah.
With,
Lux Eternal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's really short or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like an hour, not even an hour. It's like less than an hour, but still technically feature length. It's got Charlotte Gainsbourg, and I think Karsten Rundquist saw it, said it was awesome. We'll see whenever I get to see that one. I made sure during this festival that I was just like prioritizing the ones that I wanted to see and not trying to fill up as much time as possible seeing as many movies as possible. Because if there's things that are just like, oh, I could see this and fill up some time, those usually don't turn out well. And when I've got a 9-hour time zone difference and I'm only there for a few days, I don't want to be staying up late watching things that I'll regret, when I got to wake up to catch a 3-hour-long Terrence Malick movie at 9 in the morning. I'm not going to be... I don't want to be falling asleep during those. So I only saw 6 movies in the 3 days, but it's also important to note that for The Lighthouse, I lined up 3.5 hours early. The people that lined up 2 hours early did not get in. And for Parasite, I also lined up 3 hours early. So there's a lot of waiting in line too. Something else I have to remember.
So
but
6 hours just for those 2 movies?
Yeah, over 6 hours.
Whoa.
But worth it, because those were the ones I needed to see. Those were the ones where I'd be like kicking myself if I had the opportunity to see them, and I didn't.
Right, yeah. And
I guess the other movies I'll talk about in my quickies or whatever. But it was a fun festival. I enjoyed myself, and now that I'm 28 years old, I can't do the 3 days in Cannes program anymore, so I have to apply for some sort of like press accreditation, I guess. So that'll be interesting.
What, the cutoff is 28?
Yeah, it's 20 to 28-year-olds for the 3 days in Cannes
it's a really
program.
cool thing they're doing.
They just started the program last year.
Quite weird.
So it's for young people. It's to, it's like free passes. All you have to do is write them a letter and be like, hey, I love movies. Pretty much. Obviously, word it better.
All right.
Be a bit more professional in your letter. But, that was pretty easy for me to do. And then apparently the more times you actually attend the festival, like the more likely you are to get invited back. So hopefully my 2 years doing the 3 days at Cannes thing will mean that I'm able to get the press accreditation a bit easier.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention, part of the stress of the festival was I mentioned I guess last time we recorded that I had this very small window where I had to pick up my badge before the office closed, and me like my flight getting in. That was stressful, but I didn't. I made it in time to pick up my badge, but I didn't make it in time to pick up the special invite for this screening early the next day because that closed. The window to pick that up was earlier, but I was able to cancel the invite on my phone like within the last 10 minutes when I realized I wasn't going to make it. Because if you don't cancel your invite and you don't pick it up, then they basically blacklist you from getting future invites. They're like, we're going to make it very difficult for you to ever get an invite again. But they allow you to cancel it up until the last minute. So, you know, a lot of stress, a lot of fun, crazy experience. Would recommend. Do we want to do the George Lucas discussion?
THX 1138.
THX 1337.
The George Lucas named his some sound company THX afterward.
Yeah.
You know, the famous.
I was wondering why it was called that. But...
Yeah, classic.
So, THX 1138 is a film by George Lucas. Takes place in a dystopian future where everyone's mind is monitored 24/7. There's no individuality, and the lead character, THX, played by Robert Duvall, tries to escape.
But I think this movie is kind of a masterpiece, but also has some issues, which we'll discuss.
Yeah.
More so having to do with him changing the movie when he re-released it.
I honestly
2000s.
So the version that you watched before you recommended this, was that the original version?
No, it was the remastered edition.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because like my issue is that he calls it a director's cut. You shouldn't call it a director's cut if you're going to be changing so many things with 2004 computer graphics.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a director's cut. Call it a remastered or special edition or whatever you want to do.
It's the biggest issue with the movie.
Enhanced edition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does such a disservice to the film.
It does.
I wasn't expecting it.
I think very few times
really
it was
you out.
kind of fitting, and I liked it. Like, there's, like, shots of him walking in the facility, and they, like, CG, like, a background to make it look a bit more grand, and they add, like, elevators. Yeah, one or two of those were okay.
One or two of those were all right,
But overall, it was really distracting.
I want the authentic experience. Like, because if we're going to be talking about a movie, it's like, I would prefer to be talking about the movie that people saw in the 70s. This is something different.
Yeah. Because it would also be a better film.
Yeah.
It's those clips that are added in.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is his
and this is like the only one you can find anywhere.
He wants people to see, you know, this is
which
his
is just
cut.
Trademark George Lucas. Like, it would be one thing if he released it this way, because obviously he wants it to, but then, like, you know, give a special feature on the Blu-ray and just be like, hey, the original cut. You know, like Blade Runner Blu-ray. There's like 4 cuts on that thing.
Yeah.
You can just do that. Why don't you want people to watch the original?
And there's different cuts of this movie on the Blu-ray too. Like, there's one with no music. It's just the sound design of the movie, which is probably the best part.
Oh yeah, yeah, I would agree.
But yeah, he should have done something like that. And he's done the same thing with Star Wars. He just releases the new versions, the CGI riddled ones, where he adds a bunch of shit that doesn't need to be there. And he's like, this is the only one we're going to sell. And you gotta go online and torrent an HD copy of Star Wars, the original cut, if you want to watch it that way.
Yeah. Upscaled from a laser disc or something.
And it's a shame, because, like, the remaster on this movie is stunning. Like, the look of the movie looks like a modern-day movie. It doesn't look like a movie from 1971. I think it looks fantastic. It's just, they add all this shit that's really distracting and adds nothing to the movie. Yeah. There's like him driving down the road in one shot with CGI. It all looks
so cheesy.
That looked terrible. The monkeys at the end.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What was that?
I was just shouting at my TV. I was like, what the fuck is this? What are you doing, George?
But then
that's
the
like
actual
half of my
car
notes
chase in the tunnel is
film.
Fantastic. The sound and the look of the tunnel and the car, it's fucking amazing. But they add all this other shit that just detracts from the experience.
The majority of my notes for this film are just calling George Lucas a prick. It's like,
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
It just destroys it. Like, the visual consistency is just completely...
Yeah.
His justification, from what I understand about why he does this, is he's like, oh, well, if we had the technology back then I would have made it this way, right? But then he does things like making Han shoot second. It's like, well, what? You couldn't have done that the first time? I looked. As soon as I started noticing that there was modern, well, I guess 2004, so dated at this point, CG
really
in this film. As soon as I started noticing it, I was like, okay, well, I have to figure this out. So I looked online and I saw like this website that compiled all the comparisons. Yeah, it's movie-censorship.com. And as soon as I started realizing just all these different things that were changed, I lost so much respect, because in line with that justification of saying, yeah, well, if we had the technology back then, I would have done it this way. One of the things he changed was like the opening credits. He changed it from white text to green text. And that was before I even noticed that there were any changes, before I knew that this was a thing. That was one of my notes in the film. I was like, that's an interesting decision. The green text crawling up backwards, you know, reverse credits in the film. I thought that was interesting. I liked the green text aesthetic. And then I realized that, and I have to go back and change my notes and be like, oh, George Lucas is a prick. You know, like what? They didn't invent green text in 1971? That the technology wasn't there yet? What do you mean? You can't just go back and change all that shit and pretend like you would have done it anyway when there was nothing stopping you. Like when they added the eyeballs of the guy when they're doing the mind control thing, and it's like that stupid looking rolling back eyes animation. And then I look on this website and I notice that like in the original he was just looking forward. What? They didn't invent actors that could look up in 1971? What? Like what are you talking about, George? It's so sad, because like I was walking into this movie with the understanding, or at least the impression, that this was something that you wanted to show to prove that he's not a hack, and I just wound up hating him even more by the end of it. Like this solidifies how much of a fucking prick he is.
But I'm glad we're talking about the CGI, because I do agree with you. It's the worst part of this movie, and it's very distracting.
It's easily the worst part, and I don't feel like I've watched the authentic film. I don't feel like I've watched the real movie, and I don't feel like I can trust anything, you know? Like, I agree with you that the sound design is one of the best parts of the film, but now it's like, oh, well, I'm apparently watching a super edited special version. Is the sound design I'm listening to the same as it was in 1971? How can I give it credit for that if this is like the 2004 version? I can't trust anything that's happening, you know?
It shows such a lack of respect for, like, his own artistic integrity to me. Like, a painting is good because of the permanence of it. You can see every brushstroke. If you could just, you know, touch a button and delete them, like these famous galleries, they wouldn't be impressive or important, because, like, it would mean nothing. And that's what he's doing to his movies, because, like, that is the appeal of the movie. You want to see what he was up to before he invented Star Wars. Yeah. Right? That's the main reason people are going to be going back and watching this film. But he Star Wars'd it.
It's so emblematic of the time too, the film itself and the story he's telling, and just to change it in 2004. Granted, it doesn't change anything that messes with the themes or the tone of the movie. Really, it's just these awful visual effects that had nothing and are just distracting.
I want to see people basically revive Leonardo da Vinci using some DNA, and the first thing he does is he goes to the Louvre and he scribbles on a unibrow on Mona Lisa and is like, perfect. Like, fuck off. You know, like,
yeah, that's a lightsaber.
Gives her a tattoo. It's so annoying. It's so sad, because like
it's very frustrating.
It's taken over the discussion, but it's inevitable. Like this is what we're talking about, because that's
definitely the most controversial thing about it.
That's the most noticeable aspect of the film, is just how much he ruined it. I want to know what it was like before.
Now, this is where I disagree with you, that all of this ruins the movie.
It ruins my experience.
Both of you.
There's some things that I really appreciated.
I think there is moments where the visual effects are really distracting, but I think most of this movie is pretty fantastic. And I think the performances are terrific.
Great
I love
performances.
The tone of it. I love the atmosphere and the sound. The sets are fucking fantastic. I love this look of the future. Yeah. where it's just, it looks like the future and it's very sterile, but there's nothing about it that would require much money. You know, like it kind of looks like
concept.
parking garages and like these cement blocks and underground facilities with lots of wires and pipes.
I love the prison setting. I think that was my favorite scene, my favorite sequence.
Just this,
like this white
room.
Emptiness.
It's very abstract.
Yeah.
The subject matter of the movie and like the symbolism when he's like in the church booth, basically, I guess that's what I call it, and he's talking to the photograph of Jesus. Like that's fucking brilliant and so emblematic of the time and our relationship with religion. I think stuff like that's so brilliant, and I can't take that away from him. I think so much of this movie is just fantastic and original.
Yeah, you can't take it away from him, but he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will, exactly. That's the most frustrating part, is like the audience has to defend his fucking horrible decisions after basically the 70s.
Yeah. As soon as CG became like kind of usable, he's like, well, we made it. What I find shocking at this point is like, if this is how he functions, if this is how he operates, and he's constantly being like, oh, this could be better, why doesn't he do that again now? Like, he owns the rights to THX 1138 still, presumably. He doesn't to Star Wars. Re-release this now. It won't look as dated. If you really want, why aren't you doing that now? Like, apparently he thought that 2004 was perfect for CG. Apparently he thinks there's no issues with that. Because if this is what you're doing, if this is your mentality, then theoretically you should be fixing it again, right? Unless you think it's perfect now. Just release 2 different versions or something. Let me see what it was like.
At least give us a choice.
I don't understand why he doesn't want people to be able to watch it in that way. It's so weird. You already released it. You were clearly comfortable with it at one point. It's not like we're watching like some leaked, unfinished product. He released it. And then he took it away.
Yeah, it's really bizarre.
Back in the Disney vault.
For me, the most enjoyment I got was like the irony of it being this great antithesis of Star Wars. Like, it really is the complete opposite. It's a slow, like thoughtful science fiction, like anti-consumerism movie that was released right before literally the opposite, like dumb space fantasy mumbo jumbo. I thought that aspect was fascinating to me, and like just imagining like just how he would have been like as a filmmaker and a person, and how like it's always like the way, isn't it, where when you're younger you're just more what's the best term?
Good.
Yeah. You want to be more sort of altruistic, I guess, and more like, I'm telling a story for the story's sake, nothing else. You know, so it kind of, you can tell he's really trying to say something a lot more than what he became afterwards.
There was some passion there.
Yeah, and it had a lot of like sort of. It's another one of these movies to add to the list of countless films we've covered on Sardonicast now, where it's like you can see like the imagery and how, you know, ahead of its curve and inspired by all these classic pieces of literature it was that we've seen just over the decades in science fiction specifically. So a lot of it is familiar.
It was very Orwellian, and
exactly, yeah.
And I don't know if you felt this way, but I you know, for 1971, it was, you know, it does seem pretty ahead of its time in some ways. I got some like System Shock 2 vibes from it, and I'm wondering if maybe perhaps, you know, a lot of other pieces of art were inspired by this.
Well, it really made me think of that game Inside. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Sorry, played that. It really reminded me of that, which is obviously a positive. I think that game's fantastic. Yeah.
I really love that shot at the end, during the credits. I think that's a fantastic shot. But I look at it, I'm like, was it the same in 1971?
I love the use of monitors in this. They cut to them a lot, and there's always this feeling that the characters are always being watched, and that's very creepy. I love that, and it's also kind of what happened in the world now, how we're all being watched by like the security cameras and traffic cameras, and like the people hacking in the laptop cameras and all that
with
stuff.
It being Orwellian, it's usually just a reflection of things that already exist in society that, if exaggerated, would turn into that sort of dystopian universe. Dated effects from the 70s are so much more charming, and they would fit with the rest of the film. Even if something looked like bad, even if it looked like it could have been a better effect or something, you can watch a film from the 70s and be like, okay, well, yeah, you forgive it in a way.
It has some historical context to it that makes the piece more interesting.
It's that technology obsession that he has. He always wants to be proving that he's like pushing things. That's what that whole like re-release to early 2000s like DVD editions thing was about. It was just him flexing like, look, we can improve so much, not realizing that it would be really dated in a few years.
I cannot believe that he would sign off on that shot with the eyes rolling back in the guy's head, because it looks like garbage. It looks so bad.
It was those dog things that really did it for me. Those
what are you
thinking?
monkey things or whatever?
So tonally, so bizarre.
It's like, why are they there? They might just not have been there. You know, he throws a bunch of aliens into the Star Wars movies, you know? It's like, oh, there's another alien walking by here.
Yeah, it got to a point where he couldn't even stay consistent with things he wanted changed. So he changed something, then a few years later, on the next release, he changed it again. He just kept going back and forward.
I can't think of another film studio or director that has gone back and redone their movies in this way, like he has.
Disney does it.
Most people know it's, stupid.
Disney has done it a few times.
That's to hide their like mistakes, isn't it?
a lot less noticeable, a lot more minor changes. So like in The Lion King, there was a controversy because when Simba lays down after he's sad, and then the dust, and you can see it spells out the word sex or something. So they got they just added more dust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are little things though. You can't even notice that shit.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like it's a bit more subtle with Disney.
What if there was like 3D CGI lions in the Lion King all of a sudden?
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer that they remain authentic. I would still prefer, even if it's more subtle with Disney. It's like, come on, you know. There's that Fantasia one that we talked about. The super racist shit.
All the racism they want to hide.
That's so funny. Yeah, like in the Lion King, there's some there's ones that are understandable because with animation, sometimes when there's a layer that's like a background, and then there's a layer of part of the rock that's about to fall, and you can tell it's about to fall because it looks different than the background. So they changed a bit of that. They changed the shading when the they're running away from the hyenas. That it's like, okay, I can understand that. But then there's another shot where it's like during the Just Can't Wait to Be King, they completely redid a shot of like the alligators or crocodiles or whatever they are when they're singing. They used to be like in a circle, and now they were like parallel lines next to each other. And I'm like, why did you change that? It didn't look bad before.
Is it noticeable?
I noticed it. It's like, it's completely, I mean, no one would notice this unless they're very familiar with how it used to look. So like I have the VHS and I'm like, oh wait, that's different.
That's what's so egregious, though, about like what George Lucas did to this movie in particular.
Exactly.
You can't not notice it.
Exactly.
It jumps out. It like It's like another movie. Like when you're editing a video, if you accidentally drag a clip into like the first layer, so it just randomly shoves something else in. It feels like that.
Yeah.
Like just another project is being played for a few seconds, then it just disappears and goes back to the thing you want to see.
Yeah, it's like some animation student just doing this for fun.
Like a fan project.
Video.
Yeah, that's how it feels.
I was still able to appreciate parts of the movie, even if the biggest takeaway was just me being pissed off at George Lucas. That was like the most consistent emotion I experienced during the film, was like, I hate you. Why did you do this?
I wish there was a way to watch the 1971 cut in HD, but this is the Blu-ray release.
I know!
This is the director's cut. This is what George Lucas wants us to see, and we're gonna judge it as
but you can't to this, right?
This is the cut he wants us to see.
Movie.
It's the director's cut.
Yeah. It's difficult for me to give this a number at all, because I don't feel like I watched the movie.
Really?
I don't feel like I watched the movie that I thought I was gonna watch. I didn't even rate it on IMDb. I don't know what, because on IMDb it says it's a film from 1971. but it's not.
There is part of me that thinks this movie is great, and I think it would deserve a 5 out of 5. But George Lucas added in all this special edition CGI nonsense, and I think that drags the score down a lot to a 4 out of 5. And I wish I could see the original cut in HD, because I would probably give it a better score.
I would give it 3 stars out of 5.
That's fair.
I think if I could watch the original one, it could potentially go up to 3.5 or 4 star. But I just can't in good faith despite how much I like the pacing of the film. Like, it didn't linger. All the themes and the sets and everything.
Yeah.
But it's too much. It's too much with all the added stuff. I just want to know what's what, George. Just please let me. I want to see your original work. I want to respect your original vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is something else. You're a different person when you came back and edited the film. I want to see what you were like as an artist back then. Yeah, you've changed, man. Get out of here.
You've changed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my. I'm abstaining from rating this film.
Damn.
Yeah, Sardonicast first.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it's about time for questions. Head over to the Sardonicast Reddit, with Ralph will leave a usually quite funny and quirky thread to leave your little comments in. We got plenty of good ones.
I'm not funny at all.
Swimming in like a cave in Mexico or whatever. That's pretty funny.
I clown you.
You looked very happy with yourself when you recorded that video.
Yeah.
It looked like you were having
I was with
some
other
fun.
people, and they were like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're swimming in an ocean."
You whipped it out
like,
and
with
started
your phone,
filming before
going
saying
like,
anything.
"Ask questions on the Reddit." They're like, "What a fucking retard." Whatever.
Okay. Alex Marum 11 can start us off this time, saying, "What is your least favorite aspect of your favorite film?" Which is a good question. Something bad about your favorite film.
When Axon says that his chamber of 1,000 testicles was complete, he also said that there were 1,000 other men. So wouldn't that be 2,000 testicles? The Holy Mountain. That's the only issue I have.
Well, the dialogue.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. Can you blame do you blame Hodorowski? I guess. It's just, I mean, like, it seems like an error. Because it's like each man has 2 testicles.
Mistake. That happens. Things like that happen.
But it's really, exactly. Like, it's my favorite movie. Obviously, it means nothing in terms of, like, an actual criticism.
Every movie has little things like that.
Yeah.
I love this movie, Black Hawk Down. It's a pretty good war action movie.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like a car drives by, and you can see the cameraman in one of the cars from like a different angle. He's got like a white t-shirt on, and everyone else is fucking dressed in camo. It's like, oh, that's clearly a cameraman.
Those are some of my favorite goofs, is like seeing crew members. That's always fun.
Like shadows of usually the camera, the boom mic. That's a thing that happens.
The hard part of the question is that it's supposed to be your favorite film.
That's what,
at least. So take one of the 4. One of the 4 that you have on Letterboxd, for example. So take something from there.
His new favorite film is Black Hawk Down, though.
I was just using that as an example. Yeah, Black Hawk Down's my favorite movie ever. I don't know.
Damn.
What about like Under the Skin or something?
I can't think of anything wrong with Under the Skin. There's probably something wrong with it. There's probably like a continuity error or something. I think Goodfellas has a few continuity errors. But I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Goodfellas isn't entirely historically accurate to what really happened. I do have that issue. A lot of it's fabricated. But again, it's a narrative fiction movie, so I don't care that much.
Yeah, it's a story.
Yeah, some people complained about that with Chernobyl when that came out. That it wasn't entirely historically accurate to what really happened. Like, they made up this character that's supposed to embody like the work of 100 other scientists, but it's a fucking show. Right. It's like, it's a narrative. It needs to make sense, and we need to have a character beat here.
Yeah.
So
sometimes you need to do that.
Characters do that is stupid
in order to make a story that's watchable. But in movies like Bohemian Rhapsody, where they didn't need to do that, that's when it bugs me.
Yeah.
What about you, Alex?
It's one I've debated with myself, obviously. Mm-hmm. So out of my 4 I've got on Letterboxd, I'll choose The Big Lebowski. There's one scene that kind of makes me just go, a little bit. and it's where Walter pulls out the gun on the bowling alley. It's a funny scene, but something about it for me almost goes a bit too far.
Yeah.
When the whole film is supposed to be like it's kind of a self-contained story. It's not going for anything like crazy with like murder and conspiracies and stuff. It's supposed to be like just dudes hanging out for the most part, and that's one bit where it sort of goes a bit too far for me. But it doesn't bug me too much because they don't just like establish it and then there are no repercussions. Like it does have repercussions on the characters and in the movie, but that's just one for me. One little thing that bugs me every time I watch it.
It's difficult when it's your favorite movie because like.
Yeah, because you've come up with an excuse for why that doesn't bother you already. So.
Yeah, maybe Axon was just dumb. Maybe he was dumb and he didn't realize that there were 2,000 text.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he misspoke. I don't know. It's not really the point of the scene.
Well, seeing as Ralph already mentioned it, we have a question from Food Child who says, "What are your thoughts on the show Chernobyl?"
Haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to it. It's
Cool.
like the top-rated IMDb
People
show
guessed
right
you
now.
would give it a 6 out of 10, Adam.
That's
I think you'll give it a 7.
Yeah, the subreddit seems to think I'm going to give it a 6.
I
don't
just
know.
think that's funny.
It is funny. Yeah. It's just a meme.
I mean,
at this point.
If you're going to guess any number that I'm going to give a film, you might as well guess 6, and you'll be right a few times.
Yeah.
I thought the series was great.
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah, I thought it was very good.
So-
Yeah, I saw it. I watched it all over the course of a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it all one
I
day.
was out of town. I've been catching up.
Yeah, I
on
don't know how
things.
historically accurate it was, particularly.
Yeah, well, it's accurate enough to be realistic in that you're always invested in the story. You're not distracted by like the nuclear reactor doesn't really work like that in real life. All of that stuff is accurate. The events are accurate.
Yeah.
It's just where the characters were and like all of them meet up with each other at some point. It's like, yeah, that probably didn't
It
happen.
has a dramatic purpose, and that's the goal of the show, right? So.
Mm-hmm. And also the amount of facts they were able to uncover is pretty impressive. Because there's one of the main characters in the show was a guy that the Russians tried to erase from history, basically. The Soviet Union tried to erase. And they managed to find his, work that he did and act it out in the show.
Well, it's a
And I love
fascinating
that.
story, yeah. Like it
It
almost
is.
feels like a documentary at points. Like it's very informative despite the like dramatic nature of it. That's probably the best thing about it to me. You do feel like you have sort of a basic understanding of the whole event after it's only 5 episodes or so, isn't it?
Right. 5 episodes, an hour each.
Yeah. So you get a good sort of overall look at kind of where it went wrong and what happened and the effects it had.
Yeah, how they solved it. Yeah. That was the more interesting part, because the first episode is just the disaster. But the aftermath of it, 1, having to figure out what happened, because something like that never happened before, and 2, them trying to prevent it in the future. And all that was fascinating. That was way more fascinating, I thought, than the disaster itself.
Yeah, it's always the reaction that's the interesting part.
Yeah.
As someone who hasn't seen the show yet, the most fascinating aspect for me is that the series creator is the writer of Identity Thief, starring Melissa McCarthy and Jason Bateman.
That is
weird.
bizarre, because
Yeah.
that doesn't show at all. Like, you would never guess.
No.
There are no signs
Well, I
of
guess with
anything
those
like that.
movies too,
Entire IMDb
like with these
is
fucking
like that.
comedies, they write a script and they buy the script from this guy, and the actors basically improvise everything. So they're working with like the framework of what he wrote, but I bet Identity Thief's script is very different than the movie.
Yeah, that's
that
a
we
fair
got.
assumption.
Because you got Melissa McCarthy fucking talking and waving her hands around, and Jason Bateman acting all like the straight man, like he usually does.
It's also a matter of like what you're hired to do, right? Sometimes you've got a script and you're essentially like he was writing for Todd Phillips for The Hangover 2 and 3, right? So like when you're going on to that project, it's like what are you writing? You're not going to make a Chernobyl out of it. You're going to make a Hangover movie. So depends on like the goals.
Hangover 2 is about as funny as Chernobyl. So,
Yeah.
but that's
Chernobyl's
what I
much
mean. Like
funnier.
he's better at writing something like this than a comedy.
It's very interesting. Craig Mazin. Amazing. Did you have anything else to say about the show?
Yeah, it's not like the next coming of Christ. Like, this always happens. It's that Reddit effect. Like, whenever something new comes out that's quite good on Reddit, it's like, this is literally the best thing ever made in history up until this point. Yeah, it's like, what? Yeah, it's just a good, solid, like, historical drama. It's not like very redefining tasteful. Anything. Yeah,
yeah, and captures the events really well. The use of sound and the music is fantastic.
Great performances.
It's just pretty bang on. Everything. It's just on point.
All the time, we're constantly seeing over glorification of really passable, but not like super risk taking, not super out there sort of things. So. It's just obviously more people are going to be talking about how much they liked it if it's a piece of media that can appeal to more people.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it yet.
And it was also after Game of Thrones, which was awful.
I guess because they're both on HBO or something.
Yeah. So people they were like, oh, let's watch Chernobyl, which is on the same thing. And it turned out to be excellent. So.
Right. Yeah, I'd recommend it for sure.
I'll watch it at some point.
Okay.
Next.
Well, we got an interesting question. We got an interesting question from Luca Tostai.
Nice.
What are your thoughts on procrastination? As creators, how do you fight it? Any advice or particular routines that help you focus on your work?
I think I'll answer that one later. I'll think about it. I'll answer it tomorrow.
In the comment, Adam, they're apologizing to you specifically.
Oh.
Because they never posted some interview you did with Isabel Huppert 2 years ago that you wrote questions for or something.
Oh, I didn't do that with her. They probably posted on my subreddit saying, hey, I'm going to interview Isabel Huppert.
Right.
And then asked, hey, what should I ask her? Yeah, They
ended up procrastinating until they forgot about it.
That's funny. Yeah, well, it's okay. No worries. I appreciate your apology. I wasn't just kicking myself every day like, where's that fucking interview? Yeah, I mean, procrastination is a thing, but you have to I don't know. I've always found myself to be a person that is pretty
motivated?
What's the word? Yeah, I guess motivated. I have good discipline. If I see dishes in the sink, I'm gonna be like, oh fuck it, it's just gonna take 10 minutes. And I'll just do it. I'm not going to let them pile up forever. Unfortunately, I just have so many things that I'm doing that it's, things wind up taking a long time because I'm just tackling so many different things at once. But sometimes I'll be like, okay, this project needs to happen later. And it's not necessarily procrastination because I'm working on something else instead, right? It's not like I'm going I'm going to play video games for a bit. I never find myself bored looking to kill time. I'm pretty much just, I enjoy creating things, so it's, I don't know. It doesn't, it feels like work, but it's not, I don't really do anything else.
I would say you just got to have a schedule.
Yeah.
You got to divide up your work into little bits and say, well, because you can't just do, I'm going to have a review done on June 20th. You can't say that. I'll watch the movie on this date and then write something by this date and then record by this date. And just divide it up like that. Set these little deadlines for yourself that you have to meet in order to be productive.
And commit to them.
And if you do that, that's what I've always done. This works just fine.
Yeah. And it's also a matter of how important is this to you, right? If it's not very important, then it doesn't really matter if you're procrastinating it or not, right? You can just never do it if it's not important to you. But if it is important to you, then you have to actually be able to say hey, this matters and do it.
If you've agreed to do it and you have a responsibility to do it, then you have to. And just divide that workload up amongst some time. Give yourself some time to do it.
Yeah. Sometimes, take a break, give yourself a change of scenery, but make sure that you're always making up for it and getting back to what you want to do. If that's what you want to do. You have to want it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing I struggle with the most is that you said if a video is required of you, say you're doing a collab with someone and there is a concrete date you have to get it done by, that is the best motivation because you don't want to let someone down.
There's an expectation.
But the weird thing about what we do is that I guess the subscribers or the people that want to watch, they're the people you're supposed to be kind of appeasing. I mean, it's a weird thing that you... It also depends on like the videos you make. Like if it is just like pure facts or information, I suppose the process is probably quite different because you can get it down into more of a like weekly routine that you can just kind of stick to perfectly. It does fluctuate though, and you have to be willing to kind of try different things. And like I'll have like a week where I'm like doing way less, but then the next week I'll be like so ridiculously busy, like every hour of every day. Like it's never the same. But there are little tricks that help certain people. Like, for example, quite a good one I heard was that, and specifically for like self-employed people who spend a lot of time like in their own home, it can help if like when you get up in the morning and after you've showered and had breakfast or whatever, if you just put your shoes on, and if you keep them on until like the end of what your equivalent of the workday would be, so say 5 p.m. or whatever, and then you take them off, it can be sort of a... It can change your mindset into being like a relaxed kind of thing,
like a routine
in the same way. Yeah,
or even just
like,
get well dressed.
Slippers.
Like if you're gonna stay in the house all day and work, fucking dress well. Don't like walk around in your underwear.
Yeah,
so
that's the hardest thing to me though.
Go out and get something to, something to eat.
I wear pajama pants like every day.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. What am I doing? I'm sitting in front of a microphone and then watching movies sometimes. Like,
yeah, some days.
If I go outside, obviously I put real pants on, but I'm just gonna wear what's comfortable. I'm not dressing up for anybody.
Yeah.
But being just well dressed allows you to work at home, and then you can step out for an hour and then come back, and stuff like that. It's again, it keeps you in that work mindset as opposed to I'm at home in my leisure mode.
I've never felt that way. But I'm sure that could work for some people.
Yeah, it helps for me.
It helps me too.
Yeah. Like what you were saying with the shoes.
Yeah, it's weird when you work from home though, because the mindset thing, where when do you like take the shoes off and switch off, and not just completely obsess and be a workaholic because you're just gonna drive yourself insane.
Yeah,
you can't do it forever. Is the point.
Yeah.
That's my fear, like, is like burning out by a certain age and then just being like, I've gone done it now. Should have taken a break here and there.
Yeah, exactly.
Work hard, play hard.
Give yourself breaks. There's also places in where I am, LA, where you can work in a building with other people in an office environment, but you're just doing your own work, and so is everyone else.
Oh,
you're just in your own thing, and you can like talk with them and get coffee and whatever, but at the end of the day you're doing the same shit.
That's probably quite a healthy way to do it, to be honest.
Yeah, it probably is.
You're separating work and like your life a bit.
Alex, you told me too, like getting a dog, like it's just having some company
I was gonna
around.
say having a dog helps a lot because I mean you have to take it out every day, so that's you leaving your workspace.
It puts you on a schedule.
Getting a bit of exercise.
If it's just like you work at home and you can have videos out like whatever date, you can just stay in and then wake up 2 o'clock in the afternoon and like your schedule will get all fucked. Whereas a dog, you have to wake up 8 o'clock in the morning and walk it and then go back and work maybe for a bit and feed it at 12. And it keeps you
that's a good point.
Active.
But I don't really feel like being responsible for another living being.
Oh yeah, you live your life however you want. That sounds like
fun
to me
too. It is a huge responsibility.
Too.
It's not something I take lightly to do.
I'm also not having kids. Yeah. I mean, your criticisms are valid because, I mean, like I feel like a workaholic. My schedule gets messed up all the time, but we'll see. See what happens eventually. It's just there's so many things I want to do. I'm working on my album. I'll have to take a break if I want to go on tour or something, if that's going to happen. But we'll have to see.
You're going to have to do that.
A
tour is rough. That's a lot of stress.
Yeah, but...
Well, not that I would know, but that's how it seems from documentaries and interviews with people who've been on tours or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. It's just, whenever there's
my band is going on tour.
Just feels like sometimes I'm in like constant catch-up mode. And especially, like, I was away for like mostly 3 weeks. And I was still working while I was gone, but it's just like I can't get as much as I want to done while I'm gone. And then like the entire last 5 days that I was gone, I was just like, oh fuck, I want to go home. You know, I was just getting so anxious.
Yeah,
trying to keep people in the loop and just being like, yeah, I can't make as much content right now, but like, I'm just always so eager to get back, just so I can be like, okay, hey, I'm making people happy, you know? Like, people want to see this stuff, and trying my best.
Yeah. It's an interesting challenge for sure. Everyone has to handle it their own way.
One more question?
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do this rather broad one from Asgear, who says, you often talk about how some movies have changed the way of filmmaking, for example, Jacob's Ladder and Eyes Without a Face. But do you think any movies have changed filmmaking for the worse? And which ones come to mind?
Well, Star Wars is given that kind of designation.
Yeah,
because that's what created the blockbuster, which is what created this whole capitalist mindset where you got to make $1 billion and have cinematic universes and sequels and prequels and books and action figures and whatever. You know, that changed cinema for the worse, you could say.
Yeah.
Even though it's not a bad movie. Jurassic Park the same way. The way it revolutionized visual effects. And then people were like, okay, well, we could just use visual effects for everything now.
Yeah.
And a bunch of movies fucking suck.
I mean, yeah, there's plenty of examples. There's that shitty found footage trend that existed like 10 years ago or whatever.
That was going to be my answer, Blair Witch.
Yeah, but I was going to say, like, I'm not sure if I could blame Blair Witch for it or Paranormal Activity, because Blair Witch existed, but there wasn't like a huge fad of it right after. But as soon as Paranormal Activity came out, that's when it like exploded, and everything was lazy found footage and in terms of horror movies in theaters.
I would agree with Adam. I think Paranormal Activity is the one to blame for that, not Blair Witch.
Right.
Although Blair Witch obviously inspired Paranormal Activity, but whoever you want to blame.
But that's like that's what created the genre. Paranormal Activity is what fucking like made it
ran into the ground.
Yeah.
A cheap movie every year.
Exactly. Like, oh, you could spend $5 on these and make $100 million. Okay, let's just make 20 of them. And every studio was making that. Fucking, there was one in Chernobyl. There were a few in there. There were like
sequences of found footage. Oh no, sorry. Like,
oh no, I mean
movies.
like movies set in Chernobyl.
I heard
and,
about that.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fucking awful. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes no sense.
Yeah,
that Apollo.
There was
movie.
a really that was a really annoying point in time for horror movies.
It was, and now we're kind of coming back. Horror movies are one of the best things you can see in the cinema now.
I mean, there's still trends now. It's just a lot of ghost shit, like Annabelle, like supernatural. Dumb.
Yeah, but I would even argue a movie like It is way better than the found footage movies from
but it is the exception to the rule. It's not like a part of a trend or anything.
Yeah.
Like, even during the found footage
horror movies as a whole
era, there were exceptions.
Far better than that point, as a whole.
I don't know. There were great horror movies being made, even in that window. Right?
Certainly not mainstream ones that were getting released in theaters and promoted. Like, you got The Witch recently, and Babadook, and Quiet Place, and all these things are way better than that. And, you know, you even got movies like Suspiria, and that stuff.
That has more to do with, like, independent films being easier to market and distribute, like A24.
Yeah, and A24 kind of coming in the forefront. That's kind of what helped that too.
Yeah, exactly. A24 is responsible for a lot of good horror movies.
Yeah,
a lot of great recent horror movies. They're distributing The Lighthouse. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean, It Follows too was another great one. And then at that time, you just got found footage garbage. That was basically everything.
Yeah,
with some exceptions.
Yeah, I'm sure there's other examples of...
I'm trying to think of any big, like, trends aside from, like, cinematic universes and, like, horror things. Can't really think of any.
Well, I mean, we could point out the trend of, like, nostalgia, cash grab,
like reboots,
name recognition. But who do you blame for that?
Yeah, exactly. I can't think of a culprit, really.
Yeah. Other than just Disney right now. But, I mean, like, is there a single film? I'm not sure.
I would kind of blame the Transformers movies, because they were kind of the first movies to pander to China that I noticed anyway.
That's a good...
Where they start
it's
to,
just
like,
crazy now.
Like,
yeah, that's a great answer.
We threw this in for the Chinese market, right? And not because it made sense for the story.
Yeah. Yeah, change your focus. It's not America that you're trying to make the movies for anymore.
What about, like, true life movies? Like, movies that claim to be based on real life events. Could you say that's a trend? I don't know who you'd blame for that though. Again,
yeah, there's a lot of bad trends.
The Christian movies, like the God's Not Dead's and all
that
crap. That's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Not to insult anyone's religion or religious belief. Those are just bad movies and really pandering and stupid.
Yeah, I'm sure you get plenty of those in the States.
Yeah, fuck.
That's where they make all their money.
They do very well.
They barely release here. You never see posters or trailers or anything. It's like maybe one theater's playing it.
You never hear about them here either, at least I don't. Because it's like where I'm from, I guess. Yeah. The area I live in. But like these movies you see on the box office, it's like they're like number 2 in the box office. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And it's some Christian movie about how like the
Heaven
kid died and
real.
then he saw Jesus and he came back to life or something.
That's exactly what I was thinking of. Heaven is for real.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
At that point, it's like less about the movie, and parents are just taking their children. Like, see, this is about Jesus, and so
yeah, it's good for you.
See, heaven is for real. This little boy said so.
You saw it.
They need to make ghosts are for real. All right. I guess that's the question.
Yeah, there's some good ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very good.
I guess it's time for Alex to recommend a movie.
It's my turn, is it? Just want to double check.
Yes.
Yep, me.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have a movie that is we've probably all seen before, but I'd quite like to discuss because I think it's the most interesting one to talk about in this series of movies. I want to talk about Alien Cubed.
Oh, nice.
David Fincher's Alien Cubed. I think is it Alien 3 or Alien Cubed? I don't know.
It's Alien 3, but the 3 is
Look
little.
Look at where they put it though on IMDb.
Okay.
This is another one of those movies you need to mention.
I was gonna,
that's kind of infamous for its different cuts and things.
Exactly.
I would like to talk about the assembly cut, if we could.
There's
it's included on most editions. Yeah, so there's the original theatrical cut, and then in 2003 they released the assembly cut, which has slightly more footage, and it's supposed to be slightly more as David Fincher envisioned it originally.
So like
or
that would
like
be
that.
the director's cut, basically.
Yeah, but I don't think he actually had any involvement with it, so they're not allowed to call it that.
Okay.
Because he hates the film.
Let's see.
I checked on iTunes, at least in the UK earlier. If you buy it, it comes with both editions of the movie, so the original and the assembly. So I assume it's that way for the Blu-ray or whatever else.
Yeah, I'll have to see if it's on this Blu-ray. I'm looking at it right now, and it does not really say if it's the assembly cut. Oh wait,
I had to look like in the extras, like features, and the iTunes like listing. So
okay, yeah, this is listed as the theatrical version, so I'll probably just get it on iTunes.
Right, yeah.
Awesome.
I think that would be an interesting one.
Sweet. That's a good pick. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, me neither.
And I'm also much more familiar with like the first 2 Alien movies than I am with the third one. I think I only saw the third one once. A long time ago.
Yeah. No, I'm the same.
All right. So if you don't want to get spoiled for Alien 3... directed by David Fincher. Watch it before the next episode. You got 2 weeks. Chop, chop. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sardonicast. If you want to support the show, Sardonicast.com. Sign up for premium. It's $2 a month. You get these episodes early when they're edited. Also, patreon.com/Sardonicast. Also, we have links for merch in the video description. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
I barely slept. I really wanted to sleep.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Didn't happen.
I gotta get back to moving my stuff in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have fun with that.
Tired and busy.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah,
bye bye.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye bye.